Lundy. Oh, Lundy got away with double dribble. And he hits. Kelishvili working on a career high. Reynolds got it.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be recapping the Penn State vs. Seton Hall game. Unfortunately, we did lose that one. It was a tough game. It was a battle to the end. So in today's video I'm going to be going over why we lost and how we could have won that game. Seton Hall's a good team. They have played some really good teams to start the season. They were 1-3 coming into it, but I was surprised how well they played considering they've been on the road all season. It honestly might have been one of the best college basketball games of the year so far. It was highly entertaining, lots of points coming from both sides of the ball, and it was an overtime battle. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the analysis of this video. So to start, I was a little concerned because Penn State has a smaller roster this year with the departure of Mike Watkins and Lamar Stevens. So Seton Hall's starting roster is big. They start a 7-footer, his last name's like Obiagu, and they start a 6'11" foreign guy from Georgia. I'm going to try to pronounce his name. It's Kelishvili. He plays like a stretch big. Like, he can shoot it. He's really good at driving and handling the ball, and I knew he was going to give us problems. And I was questioning how Penn State was going to match up against him because John was going to have to guard the 7-footer Obiagu, and that leaves Seth Lundy to guard Kelishvili. And Kelishvili is a really talented player. He's been averaging like 23 points a game this season for Seton Hall, and Seton Hall has been needing that, especially since they don't have Myles anymore, who was their leading scorer last year. So yeah, Kelishvili's 6'11", Obiagu's 7 feet tall. And to put this in perspective, John Harrar is only 6'9", and Seth Lundy's 6'6". So you could tell in the first 5 minutes of the game that we were going to be struggling with the rebound competition. We actually led the game in rebounds overall. We had 37 and they had 35. A lot of that was because we had a lot of offensive rebounds from our hustle and our energy from the first half. We did out-rebound them in the first half, but they out-rebounded us in the second half. You could tell in the first 5 minutes, Obiagu was getting all these easy looks. Like, he was wide open under the paint one time because Penn State's talk defense communication was really bad to start there. And I think he started off with like 6 points to start for Seton Hall because he was getting these open alley-oops and he was dunking, and he was just a problem. And I was slightly worried that we were going to be dealing with that the entire game. Quite frankly, we did a really good job of boxing out. I knew coming into this game that if we wanted to win, we had to box out and rebound as a collective group. There was no way we were going to win this game if we all just went for the rebound and didn't find our man and box out, because we weren't out-rebounding a 6'11" and 7-footer by just going looking for the ball and jumping up and grabbing it. You have to find your guy and box him out. And also, defensively, to win this game, we had to deny the post entry pass and as well as double down when a ball got into the post. We had to force Seton Hall to shoot it from the perimeter, which they struggled to start the game. I was very impressed with John Harrar and Myles. I'm going to talk about them later in this video, but they did a really good job of boxing out and finding their man, especially Myles. Myles is 6'6", but he's got a nice build, so he did a good job coming off the bench and providing, and he honestly played really good defense against Kelishvili. So the game was close at first, but then Penn State got hot. Literally, we were hitting threes left and right. Lundy was hitting threes. It was nice to see Myron Jones to finally start hitting threes. He was getting himself going this game. Sam Sessom was hitting threes. Myles Dredd was hitting threes. Even Trent Buttrick hit a three, which was big time. And when he's hitting threes, you know it's going to be a good day for Penn State. So I believe in the first half we had 7 different players hit a three. Even Jamari Wheeler hit one. Brockington hit one. So when you're having 7 players who can all shoot the three, you're a hard team to stop. You are a hard team to scout, to beat. If you have multiple guys who can shoot the three, it really opens up the lane and it creates opportunities for everyone. So we had the biggest lead of the half was like 19 points. We were up 40-21 at one point. We went on a huge run. The thing with Seton Hall is they've been struggling with starting slow the entire season. I was like, all right, I'm not going to get my hopes up at first because Seton Hall is good at battling back. They've been doing it all season if you've been watching their games. The only game that they didn't play well was against Oregon, but Oregon's a really good basketball team. Like I said, Penn State was up 19. Seton Hall has been struggling with starting slow, but the thing about Penn State is we have a huge history of blowing leads. Last year, for example, we were up 20 against Michigan State at the Bryce Jordan Center, and we're like, wow, like we're beating one of the top teams in the nation right now. Until to start the second half, Michigan State went on a huge run, and then we ended up losing by 20. And the same thing happened against Rutgers. We were up big against Rutgers, and then they came back, and we had to rely on a Myles Dredd 3 to win the game. So it's in Penn State's history to blow leads. Even you saw against VCU, we were up 8 near the end of the game there. We had to rely on another Myles Dredd 3 to win the game. It's also notable to mention that Seton Hall was missing one of their top guards. His name's Bryce Aiken. He played at Harvard. He averaged 22 points per game at Harvard the season he played all the games. Last season he was kind of dealing with injuries too. But overall, Penn State's energy as a collective group was outstanding in the first half. Everyone was hustling, getting rebounds, especially John Harrar. He's the heart and soul of this team. He was diving on the floor, putting his body on the line. So John had 11 points and 8 rebounds, so he almost had a double-double, but he played probably the best game I've seen him play all year this year. So yeah, the first half was really good. We went up 40-21 to start the game, and then Seton Hall kind of went on a run to end the half there, and they cut it to 11, which I was kind of concerned about too. It was like, uh-oh, here we go again. Here comes Penn State blowing leads. So to start the half, Seton Hall opens up with a full court press, and I'm like, great, this is not good at all. They get a layup quick, steal, turnover, layup quick. They cut the game to 7 points just like that, single digits. Seton Hall has the momentum now. Seton Hall has the energy. They fought themselves back into the game. Penn State did a decent job of fighting it off. Another thing that really helped out Penn State was that Seton Hall's transition defense was awful. One of the worst transition defense I've ever seen. We got so many easy fast break points last night. Seton Hall slowly kept chipping away, getting themselves back into the game. Seton Hall's press really caused problems for us. It sped us up. We started taking some bad shots, really bad shots, ill-advised shots. Seton Hall was able to tie the game, and they started that second half. I believe they shot 9 for 9. Their first 9 field goals they didn't miss. So not only were they playing well defensively, they were hitting their shots, which they didn't in the first half. And Myreon really kept torching us. Like, he was hitting threes, driving, getting by everyone, finishing the paint, getting and ones. So the game was tied, and at this point, there's like 10 minutes to go in the game. And then we go down 3. But thankfully, Myles and Myreon Jones hit 3 consecutive threes in a row, which was huge for us. Like, if we don't hit those threes, Seton Hall could have gone on a big run. And then we were up 3 at this point, and then that's when we finally got the momentum back. We finally got our energy back as a group, and we started playing like we did in the first half. Come to the end of the game, we're up 8. Myreon Jones has a layup to put us up 8 with 2 minutes left. Looks like the game's over. Like, if you're a college basketball fan, if you watched many games before, and you're up 8 points with 2 minutes to go, it's very hard to come back and win. If you're a smart basketball team and you're well coached, there's no way you're losing that game. But no, obviously we didn't win that game because we did some very undisciplined stuff. This is a huge teaching point for Penn State, and I thought they would learn this against VCU last week. Like I was saying, they were up 8 against VCU, and VCU came back. It shouldn't have been that close. The exact same thing happened in this game against Seton Hall. So yeah, we come down, Myreon Jones makes the layup, we're up 8 with 2 minutes to go. Then Obiagu hits a contested 3 in Myles Dread's face, I believe. Great shot. You can't really do anything about it. That's just one of those plays where you tip your hat and you go to the next play. So we're up 5 now with 1:30 left. We come down. Penn State, Seth Lundy has the ball, goes 1-on-1, takes a contested fadeaway jumper with like 5 seconds into the shot clock. So there's still like 20 seconds left on the shot clock. And he completely clanks it, and Seton Hall gets the rebound. Now, I don't understand when there's 1:30 left, you're taking that contested shot. When Penn State's glue on offense is to move the ball and look for the 3-point shots or the driving lanes. And I don't understand why Jim Ferry didn't call a timeout after that 3, because it's a 5-point lead. You want to tell your guys that we're going to come down here, we're going to move the ball, we're going to use the entirety of the 30 seconds of the shot clock and get the best possible look we can. But no, Seth Lundy comes down and takes a contested jumper, which is not what we wanted. So then Seton Hall comes down, guess what? Myles drives and gets and 1, makes the layup, and he hits the free throw just like that. 2-point game. So at this point, there's like 1:15 left. So what do we have to do? Eat the shot clock up and get a good possession offensively. Get a good look. We just got to score. What do? Myreon Jones catches the ball, shoots a deep 3, yet again, 5 seconds into the shot clock, and airballs it. One of the worst shots I've ever... I don't know why Myreon Jones shot that ball. He had such a good game, and then that moment right there killed it. So now, Seton Hall gets the ball back with 40 seconds left. They come down. Shavar Reynolds drives, finds Jared Roden. Jared Roden gets a wide open dunk, just like that, ties the game. And then we come down, have a poor offensive possession yet again. Penn State decided to give the ball to Myreon Jones, and he took a contested fadeaway jumper just like Seth did a couple possessions ago and missed it. So yeah, if I'm Jim Ferry, I call that timeout when the game's tied, and this is what I'm drawing up. So, like I was saying, we have so many players who can shoot the 3. Why don't give the ball to Sam Sessoms, our best ball handler, had like 7 assists in the game. John Harrar set a high ball screen for Sam Sessoms. And then Sam drives right or left, he reads the screen, and then you get Seth Lundy, Myreon Jones, and Myles Dread in the perimeter and the corners to be open for a 3. If Sam doesn't have a wide open driving lane, which he probably will because he's really quick and he has a really great handle and he's great at finishing around the rim considering how small he is. If that's not available, the other players are going to have to help down. And I would love to have Seth Lundy or Myron Jones or Myles Shred open on a three. And if his players help down, oh my gosh, I would love a three from any of those players. An open three from any of those players to win the game. No matter what, you saw Myles Shred do it last week. But no, Myron Jones had to go one-on-one, take the contested jumper. It was such a bad shot offensively, and it was such a bad possession. And then thankfully, Seton Hall missed their jumper. So it went into overtime. And I think Seton Hall led this game for a total of like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But in overtime, Seton Hall just dominated us. They had the momentum in overtime. We did not look like ourselves. Obiagu killed us. We could not guard him. It was very disappointing. That game should have never gone to overtime. If we take care of the possession and we take care of the ball and we take a better shot, we aren't losing that game, especially when you're up 8 with 2 minutes left to go in the game. That's so embarrassing. I think as a collective group, we played really good this game. It's another learning piece for the rest of the season that we got to do a better job of maintaining our lead. We got to do a better job of closing games out. But I was really impressed overall. My players of the game for Penn State were Myles Dredd and John Harrar. Myles Dredd shot the ball fantastic this game, just like he did at the beginning of the season last year. Myles Dredd went 4 for 6 from the three, and he had 14 points, and that's exactly what we need him to do. If Myles Dredd's hitting threes, that gives us a better chance of winning games, because there are having games last year where he just clanks it and goes like 0 for 6. And shout out to John Harrar too. He did a great job of guarding the 7-footer Obiagu. I don't even think he played at the end of the game there. It was their backup center. I forget what his name was. Myles Dredd and John Harrar played really well. They hustled, they boxed out, they got rebounds. They did all the dirty work for Penn State. They were physical. John Harrar's hustling, like I was saying, and they both were providing offensively for us, which normally John Harrar doesn't do. And it was big time for Myles Shred to hit those threes. So we're now 2-1. Next up, big game is against Virginia Tech. It's the Big Ten ACC showdown. It's going to be a challenge. Virginia Tech just beat Villanova. They're now ranked 16th in the nation, so it's going to be a hard battle again. I think if we play the way we did in that first half, if we play like that every half, we're going to be hard to beat. We just got to play as a collective group, and we got to bring the energy. And when we do get the leads, we got to keep grinding. We got to keep getting after it and keep our foot on the gas. Like, we can't lay off. So yeah, that concludes my analysis of the Penn State versus Seton Hall game. I thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for some more Penn State basketball content, and stay tuned for later this week because I have a big video dropping this Friday. You guys are really going to enjoy it, especially for you basketball fans out there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe for some more Penn State content.